Black Wall Street is now online, baby. That's right. Visit the GW District. Shop the very best in men's and women's apparel and accessories, home decor, office supplies, books, pantry items, and so much more. The GW District is a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media. We're both veteran and Black-owned, and we're bringing you the best online shopping experience with products made by small businesses. Come and experience the GW District difference today at shopgwdistrict.com. That's shopgwdistrict.com. The GW District, a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, it's Princess Havoc, your favorite BBW adult star and host of Causing Havoc, along with the fabulous Bobby Lucas, where we talk about anything and everything. Come follow the dopamine with us Sundays at noon, now with video. Part of the Premium Smoke Room family and streaming exclusively on Anchor and Spotify. Run, don't walk to subscribe now. For only $4.99 a month, you get my show and 4 other great shows as well. See you there. Mwah.
Yeah, you move fast. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Multitasking a little bit because it's in the morning. It's Sunday morning. It's Father's Day. It's Juneteenth. It's every damn thing today.
Yeah, I know, and I really appreciate you taking the time to reschedule last minute like that. I really apologize, but I didn't realize. Oh, it's Father's Day. There's so much stuff going on. But
just there's the life of a podcast. It's no different than like even with porn, because sometimes like people may have to cancel last minute or because things happen. You know, people forget that we do have a life outside of porn. We have kids, we have jobs, we have families. Some of us are married. You know, we just have to betray that we're single or available to get the money.
Yep, exactly. And sometimes, it's one of those things that, especially when you have to reschedule, there's obviously a right way to go about it. You want to make sure that, you try to give people as much notice as you possibly can. Sometimes those things, they do end up being a last minute situation or an emergency situation like me on Friday. But, you make it work. And then when that happens, you open yourself up to, okay, well, it was me that canceled. So I'm going to work around what works best for you because, so I appreciate it very much.
No doubt. Because like I said, I mean, the way I look at it, as long as you're still interested in doing this interview, then I'm always interested in having you on. Period. Because I mean, to keep it frank, I'm not paying anybody for this. This is out of love, and I want to say thank you. And I'm blessed to have you on here, especially the fact that she's a Plumper Pass girl. So, and we love our Plumper Pass girls here on this show. So, oh my goodness. And like I said, I do my research, what have you. How many times have you worked with Plumper Pass?
I've worked with Plumper Pass a total of 3 times. I'm hoping to work with them again soon. I keep bugging them like, I'm ready, I'm back. Because I've taken a bit of a break for a while. So I'm hoping that time number 4 will be coming around soon.
Oh, no doubt. Wait a second. You got a little bit of an accent. Where you from, darling?
Yeah, I'm originally from the UK. I moved to the States when I was 17. I just kind of up and moved. I was like, I want to do something different. I always crack a joke that I saw the Will Smith music video, Welcome to Miami, and I was like, obviously I need to move to Miami. But, I just wanted a change of pace and had some life changes that occurred when I was over there. And I was like, you know what? Let me see if the grass is greener on the other side. And up and left. God.
See, that's interesting because I was listening, I was like, she got like an English accent. It's like you ain't completely Americanized just yet.
It's funny because when I speak to anyone from the UK, they're like, oh, you sound like such a Yank. And then when I speak to people from here in the States, they're like, oh my God, I love it. Can you say tea? Can you say Harry Potter? So it's kind of
my God. Oh, that is...
on who I'm talking to.
Yes, I'm sorry. I love English accents. I'm sorry. That's just that Scottish, just the whole UK, all their accents, especially because I watch the wrestling from over there a lot. Oh God,
Mm-hmm.
I just love it, just love it. So look, let me do these particulars, and we can get this interview on the road, okay?
Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Smokers Lounge here on Anchor, the perfect app for anyone who's trying to start their own podcasting career. All you got to do is download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get yourself a profile today. I'm your host, Kavanaugh of a Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. Find me everywhere with one link, allmylinks.com/Porn Rap Star. I need to tell you about 3 wonderful sponsors. The first one being the Facebook and LS community, lsworld.com. Get yourself a profile. Next up is one of the hottest adult magazines in the game right now, Eroticism Magazine. So go to eroticismmagazine.com, get yourself a monthly subscription, get it paperback, mailed to you, or digital. And last but not least, for you consumers, a new place where you consume Triple X content, and for you content creators, a place where you can get 90% profit from your sales. I'm talking about excitebunny.com. And did I forget to mention they're Black owned? Also, proud member of the GW District Black Podcasting Network. Also, go there and get some shopping done from over 500 Black-owned retailers, shops, and boutiques. I'm talking about shopgwdistrict.com. Also, check us out on SkyhawkAfterDarkTV.com, as well as the BGP LLC app, which you can download on your phone or in your browser. So I'm about to shove and let this sexy, English, gorgeous, what is it, 5'10",
Yep,
long
that's right.
string of sexiness introduce herself.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's Lennox May. I'm so excited to be on. So you're right, 5'10", voluptuous goddess from the UK, living in the States, that loves to make a lot of porn and have a lot of fun.
Most definitely, most definitely. So it's like when a lot of people, like when they meet you at first, if they hadn't heard you speak, how surprised they are of the accent.
Oh, in Miami, ridiculously surprised because what I get a lot because I have a slightly caramel complexion. A lot of people think that I'm Hispanic, so they'll come to me and speak to me in Spanish, and I know what I like to call survival Spanish, which is una
Yeah.
cerveza, por favor. That's it. So, so I tell people I don't speak any Spanish, and they look at me like, "What? You're not Spanish?" I'm like, "No, I'm from the UK." They're like, "Oh."
So what is your ethnicity?
So my mother is Scottish and my father is New York Italian. So I get the complexion from.
So you Italian, Scottish.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Uh,
So yeah.
yeah. See, yeah, because I tell females that have like a look that can pass for any ethnicity. Like shit, you can pass for black almost. Pretty honestly. And it's actually a good thing and welcome more so in the porn industry and acting than probably anything else in the world.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because I'm one of those girls too where like, oh, when you're filling out forms and it tells you like check your box. If there's not another box or mixed, I just look at it like I don't know what to check.
Like, what do I choose here? There's no good choices.
Exactly. But yeah, no, it definitely works out for me in the industry because I feel like I can kind of fit in a lot of different categories that way.
Yeah.
So I am very blessed and lucky.
I'll be having you. Nah, you be like me. You work together. We be doing straight English shit. Like you exchange student, all that. I'm gonna put that English accent to work.
Have
Shit.
you over for high tea?
Oh yeah, shit. I have you play a secret agent. Yeah. The female Bond, the female BBW Bond. Who is she? May Lennox May.
So currently, right now, I weigh 253 pounds because I just weighed myself actually yesterday. Yeah, I'm at 253. So it's kind of funny because because I'm tall, I carry it in a strange way where I don't look as big as some other girls who weigh 253. But I also don't really want to get bigger. I wasn't a BBW, a part of the BBW community in regards to porn until after I had my child. Surprisingly, prior to that, I was never skinny, but I was never big enough to be classed as BBW either. Like I would have never have shot for bumper passing. I would have been. Yeah. They would have told me no.
No, you probably was thick. What we would call a thick girl. It's like
Yeah,
you right there in that cushion between BBW and small girl. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
you're not big enough to be considered a BBW, but you're not small enough to be considered a small girl. So
yeah.
yeah. You my kind is one of my favorite rock bands. Say you my kind. Yeah. but so you run the gamut when it comes to the porn industry. I take it you cam. You also do adult film. You pretty much have an extensive brand per se, and a lot of different pieces of the brand, what have you. Let's go back to the beginning. What got you into the business to begin with?
So to begin with, funny story. My very first ever experience with anything adult industry related was for Bang Bros and Reality Kings. They actually have their own customer service, right? And so I
Okay.
actually used to do customer service, which is
What?
answering. Yes, which is answering the phones to women calling, what is this credit card charge for $39.95 on my card every month? And we're like, oh, it's actually an adult website. I've never subscribed to that. Cancel it. Okay. And then from there, I actually met people who did the filming from Bang Bros just through mutual people that, knew them. And I met Preston. And then I started moving into more PR work and event planning because that was something that I was enjoying doing anyway while I was in college. And then from there, started doing a little bit of camming. Took a break to finish my degree because I wanted to get it over and done with.
Mm-hmm.
And then went back and became an affiliate manager for a fetish studio that was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida Fetish Studio, and simultaneously was camming again, and I was doing some content clips, but not to the extent that I was doing once I moved into the BBW category.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then once I got pregnant, I decided to stop until I had my child. I know some people love to do pregnant porn, power to you. I just didn't have the confidence and absolutely hated being pregnant. I didn't feel good. I didn't like it. So I was like, no, it's not for me. So I took that break and at that point I'd finished college. So I was pretty much just doing some side translation gigs and stuff like that. And then after I had my son, I came back full force, full content clips, back to camming, got hired with Plumper Pass, started doing my pro shoots, and yeah, that's really where
so
I'm still at currently.
so your first pro shoot was with Plumber Pass, correct?
My first
And,
pro shoot, my first full boy girl shoot with Plumper Pass.
okay.
I did pro fetish, femdom, stuff like that, but not, any insertion clips where I was actually the one that was being fucked,
Oh,
So
okay. I
that
see what
would
you're
not
saying.
happen with Plumper Pass. But yeah, no, I pegged a few guys on camera with prior to that though.
I mean, no, you doing dom work is not a surprise because you're tall and you have big tits, and a lot of the submissives like a tall dom, especially on the BBW side. They like that. That's what they want, period. Um, so it's kind of like with you already you basically covered the gambit until the last thing that was left for you was boy girl for the most part.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it was one of those things that I was unsure if that was the direction that I wanted to go, but then I enjoyed making content clips myself. But,
Mm-hmm.
I'd had my son and I was in a relationship, so did content with my husband. I loved doing that. He cams with me sometimes from time to time. And I love that he's a switch. So we're able to kind of create that dual side content where I could be the dominant one, but then,
Mm-hmm.
for him, I was comfortable with being submissive.
Mm-hmm.
And then, finally Pumper Pass approached me with, hey, would you be interested in shooting? And I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. And I loved it. I was like, actually, this is fantastic. Why wasn't I doing this ages ago? And because I'd always seen it from, behind the camera, doing like the PR
Mm-hmm.
work and being the affiliate manager for the fetish studio, but it just felt different to be the one that was on camera and to have that whole experience of like, you feel like a star. Like, it was kind of like like, yes, my moment. And I fell in love with it from there. So that was it. I was like, okay, this is me now.
Okay. So let's unpack that first shoot, because, like I said, prior to this, you've been doing pretty much at the most. If there was any insertion on you, probably solo at
Yeah.
best. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Um. So, and you also have worked behind the camera, behind the scenes. You have perspective where the average just don't have. Not even the top porn stars have the perspective that you have, honestly. Um, so now you're switching to going on a set to where you're the star, you're in front of the cameras, the lights is on you. Tell me, how did you feel? Was you nervous? What's some of the things that they did on set to help you relax to get ready for the scene? From meeting, because I take it that your first scene was with, who was your first scene with?
My first scene was with Juan Largo.
Okay, then yes,
Shout out to Juan, amazing male talent to
that
work
dude
with
has
for the
been
first
a
time.
regular for Pumper Pass forever. He is like their Steph Curry out this month.
He is.
I think he's shot with everybody. He's at least shot with everybody that Plumber Pass has worked with at least once.
Yes, definitely. And I loved working with Juan. He made me feel extremely comfortable. And honestly, one of the things that really helped too, surprisingly, it sounds superficial, but sitting in the chair, getting your hair and makeup done, you feel pampered, you feel like the star, it just kind of amps you up, gives you like this level of excitement of, okay, this is about me. Doing the photos initially, getting your photo shoot part done. And then Juan came in and Juan introduced himself, and he was an absolute gentleman. And I think that makes the key difference too, is like he was someone who, took the time to introduce himself and talk. I felt comfortable, asked me what I was comfortable with. And that's something that, goes above and beyond in this industry, especially when, consent is extremely important, and making sure that your scene partner is comfortable with everything that's happening. And the way that he approached that just made me feel comfortable with him. Plus, he's cute to look at in the eyes, and he's got a lovely size cock. So it was like checked off all the boxes, and yeah, and it was an exciting shoot. It was my first shoot was for New Year's for 2020, as harsh as that dramatic year was, but so it was exciting to be, the New Year shoot too. So I knew I was going to be the first scene of the year, which kind of amped me up too and made me very excited. And yeah, so it was just great. We had, obviously I wasn't drinking it, but, poured champagne all over myself. And so then I just felt glamorous and slutty at the same time.
So with that, what people don't understand when you're shooting, and this is whether you're pro or even once you decide to shoot pro-ish, angles, working the camera. What's some of the things with that first scene? Because it was your first boy-girl scene. What's some of the things that you learned from that first scene that took you to the other scenes that you had did after that you learned that you have to be on camera and the whole nine? And also the misconception of being the person in front of the camera versus behind it.
So one thing that I will say is definitely that I'm sorry, fans, if I'm spoiling any magic here. So but even from working behind the camera, obviously I wasn't sitting and watching like entire scenes get filmed all the time. I'd be kind of in and out. So when you see the scenes from, a fan view perspective, you just think it's like, oh, it's just them constantly fucking back to back and switching positions, and it's just nonstop for 30 minutes of just straight fucking. It's not actually like that. It's a lot of start and stop. Is a lot easier. Like for female talent over male talent is a lot easier. Male talent, you need to stay hard throughout all of that stopping and starting, which I give props to. But that was one of the things that was very different for me, was like kind of that, okay, let's take some stills in this position. Okay, now we're gonna fuck in this position for this many minutes, and then we're gonna stop, and then okay, now let's change completely, reset. That was a little bit different. And just also, it helped the director and the camera person, who I feel terrible that I've forgotten his name right now, so apologies. But he really helped me too, considering I was a bigger girl now, and so this was like kind of the first time for me to be positioning my body in this new size after having my son. He really helped me find ways to show off my body in a positive way, and still the camera could see everything that it needed to see, and that it wasn't like my back to the camera or like my face hidden away. And those were things that technical things that I wouldn't have known until I was in front of the camera and being taught it. And I've taken all that in, and now I apply that to even personal shoots that I do. And then it was even easier for me, shoots 2 and 3 with Pumper Pass, because I already knew like what to expect and how to kind of position my body.
So now after that, when did you start transitioning for your content to do more boy girl? And from there, how did you go about, and what did the things that you look at for the guys that you might want to work with? Because I see that you work with a lot of females. So I see you one of the favorite ones for the girls to work with.
I love working with girls. I mean, all girls are beautiful, all girls are sexy. There's not a female body out there that's not beautiful and sexy that doesn't deserve to be worshipped and devoured, in my opinion.
Oh my God.
But
I like you. I like
for male talent, honestly, it's kind of a vibe thing for me. If you're very pushy, if you contact me and your way to approach a shoot is to dive into trying to do some form of sexting or dirty talk right off the bat, that's kind of a bit of an off-put for me. I like, I don't want to get to know you in the sense of like we need to have 3-hour conversations on the phone or anything like that, but introduce yourself to me formally. Let me know who you've kind of shot with in the past, what kind of content that you want to do. Be professional about it. Don't come and message me, I want to fuck you because you're gorgeous, let's make content. Okay. Sounding a bit fan-like right now, and I don't do fuck fans. So kind of like the way that I look at it.
Yeah, because let's keep it 100 on my damn show. Always, because we don't pull no punches, because we rather give you the real than the bullshit. We just get a little bit more candid in the premium smoke room. So I got to put the premium smoke room out there for y'all people, the subscribers. Here's the thing. Your first boy girl scenes, for the most part, was with Plumber Pass. So you just didn't work with the average dick. You worked with cachet dick. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in this, being in this business 15 years, 20 years, add on that five extra years before I was talent, that iron sharpens iron. You prefer to work with established male talent because they bring a different vibe to the set and knowledge that an average individual just don't. So because you work with the best of that shape how you pick the guys that you work on camera.
Slightly, yes. And in the sense that I was a lot more cautious with, who I even approached. So, I'm gonna give a shout out to, one of my favorite male talents to work with is Hectic Desires. I love Hectic.
That's my he's a friend of the show. That's my boy. Go ahead.
and it's mostly besides the fact that he's a great fuck, he's very professional, and he holds himself to a high manner with just with the way that he's presented and the way that people see him, and just he's easy to talk to and he was easy to work with and he was never pushy, and I think that made a big difference for me. And so like that's kind of the way that I go about it. It's not necessarily always a follower thing, right? Some people think like male talent, they've got less than a certain number of followers, they can't be legitimate male talent. But when you think about the way social media treats anyone in the industry, you could have had 80,000 followers 2 weeks ago. Your
Yeah,
account got taken, and I just might not have known that 80,000 follower account.
yeah,
Just,
and truthfully, women going to gain more followers than men anyway, because
yeah,
you can be a great male talent shot with everybody and have like 2,000 fucking followers. It's
yeah,
just you can't really use. You can use following when it come to women, but the same criteria that you might use for a woman, you can't use for a man to a certain extent.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So because I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Oh, are you okay?
Oh yes. My listeners know this is the smokers lounge. So some of us and the guests do smoke. So if you hear me cough, it's because I done hit some good ass weed.
There we go. It's a
So
good call.
we 420. This ain't COVID cough, no. Now, what I was saying was, so with you, how often do you shoot your content, and what
Um,
provision do you make for your content to shoot?
So when it comes to like shooting solo stuff, I do a lot of cam, more than shooting content. So I cam on StreamMate. That's one of
Okay.
my main things to do. I love camming. I love having that live session because I do have a lot of fetish fans still. That is one of like my primary content. Even though I've moved into boy
Mhm.
girl, fetish is still the dominant leader when it comes to the content that I produce.
Mhm.
Especially cuckolding, because I do cam with my husband from time to time. So
Oh,
um,
okay.
that's one of my main things is I do actually a cuckold package. And so what that is I will sell either like panties or stockings or something like that I've actually been came on by my husband.
Mhm.
I will shoot that custom clip of the actual panties or stockings being came on, and then I will mail the panties to the customer or the stockings and then send them their custom clip. And then we will do a live cam session, and I'll actually have them clean them while on cam. And so my
Nice.
Cuck fans love that. And just doing a few of those sessions a month
Mhm.
kind of sets me up for the month where everything just where what I feel like doing.
Mhm.
And so then, I'll do some solo stuff, a lot of custom stuff. It really, I've did some cosplay solo
Mhm.
work from time to time, but really my setup is just finding time
Mhm.
because with COVID happening, my husband is now permanently working from home. And then I have my 3-year-old who is only in daycare for a certain amount of hours in the day. So it makes my shooting window I have like a 2 to 3 hour time to like get set up and then like knock out as much shooting as I can. So it's
Mhm.
very meticulous and time specific. So if I miss that time slot, then I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not shooting today.
Oh, I feel
I'm
you. I
gonna have
feel
to
you.
reset that and try it again tomorrow. So then I do my little side hustle because I went to school. I got my master's degree for a reason, and that was in Japanese linguistics. So I
Yes.
do translation gigs on the side sometimes. And so one of the cool things that I get to do is right now I can't really talk too much about the title because of NDA contract, but I'm
Yeah.
actually doing the subtitles for a hentai right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I end up still finding work that's related to the industry. It's just once again sometimes the back end side of it instead of front end. And I like having that mix up because
Mm.
you know that way I always stay busy and I always stay
Yeah,
making money.
because you're a different breed here. Because like I said, it's very rare that I talk to somebody that has touched every part of the game. Either the fact that translating Japanese into English for a porn game for the most part, or a cartoon or what have you. You know what I'm saying? To you doing content. Now, with that being said, which brings me in a great segue to the favorite part of the show that everyone loves. You know what it is? This is the part of the show where the pussies go dry, the dicks go limp. Let's talk about the business. This is what we talk about, the business. The shit that no one really want to talk about. Now, with you, because for what I heard is that you don't do a lot of boy girl content.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is because you're not dependent upon it or necessary. It's more of an icing on the cake more so than the ingredient. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Do you think that gives you advantage on one? Does it make your boy girls even more special when you do them because of the way that you're doing things versus if that was a part of the ingredient of the cake?
Yes, in the sense that I get to do it when I want to do it and pick who it is that I want to do it with, and it be more of a specialty, like a treat, instead of
Mm-hmm.
it being like a necessity for me to be able to make my goals for the month. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like no, no shade or hate to anybody who loves doing boy girl all day every day, but I also like to go home at the end, like be done at the end of the day and fuck my husband for fun. I don't necessarily want to be exhausted, exhausted because I've been ragged all day, every day, 4 times out of the week, where I just like, hey, baby, I really, my pussy hurts. I don't want to do it today. And I don't have that situation because I do get to be more selective, or even going to things like conventions and things like that. I feel like sometimes people go to cons with the mindset of I need to get as many shoots as possible, and so then they end up being disappointed when cancellations and things like that happen. I actually go about it the other way. I tend to not really line up a bunch of stuff. I just, if it happens, it happens. I go to the convention for the reason of either meeting fans or just getting to see my industry friends that I don't get to see very often because we're all spread apart so far. So that kind of allows me to just go into it in the mindset of just enjoying it and having fun and it not being all business. And I feel like that's not the case for everybody because
Well, I
it's,
mean, because when you think about it, in your situation, especially your situation, your main money is not made from content. Your main money really is made from camming. You
yeah,
feel what I'm
yeah,
saying? And the fetish trade. So, and I always said this: for a woman to make money in this business, she has to do one or two things. Well, I mean, to make money in this business without having to fuck a dude or suck a dick. You know what I'm saying? We talk attached to a dude. Let's make that very clear
yeah,
because you either do extreme fetish or you a strong cam girl. You feel what I'm coming from?
yeah,
Because camming is a different animal than that of content.
yeah,
And plus, it's more work than that of content because you got to compensate for the one advantage with content is you get more the percentage. With camming, you don't get the majority of the percentage. So you have to work it in a different way, and it's way more harder because now it ain't just you just fucking know. You got to talk him in the building.
yeah. But that's one of the things that I think I like about camming on Streamate versus camming on other campsites. And I know some girls who love, sites like Chatterbait, MFC, Camsoda, where it's token based.
Yeah.
I like Streamate because those fans who join Streamate cams, they know, like, if I want to see it, if I want to see, if I want to see pussy, if I want to see insertion, if I want to see any of that, I need to be in private or I need to be in an exclusive chat with you because that's
Mm-hmm.
just the rules of the way that Streamate is set up. And I feel like that kind of allows it. I go in with that expectation of, I'm either going to make really good money or I'm at least going to get a couple of new people, at least from the fetish side, that want to do more of that custom based work. And then that custom based work then is what is that whipped cream on the top of it all because that's like
Yeah.
that extra nice cash flow. And so that's one of the ways that I kind of feel like that's why Streamate works better for me in that sense, is because the fans have that expectation of I'm not going to get a free show, versus with things like Chatterbait where it's token based. You do get those people who just kind of linger around hoping that somebody else will eventually fork up enough tokens where you will get completely naked or you will go ahead and start playing with your pussy. And that's, I don't like that. You want to see it, like, especially for someone who's came from, mostly femdom based stuff. If you want to see it, you're going to pay for it. This pussy ain't great. And that's kind of the mindset of which I go for it. Even I've tried messing around with OnlyFans. I have a loyal fans because a lot of fetish stuff, like, because that stemmed from clips for
Mhm,
sale, then created loyal fans. So I do have a loyal fans, but
mhm,
OnlyFans, Fansly, that's not really working for me too much. It's too
mhm,
24/7. You got to be always on it. Like,
mhm.
as you can see from my social media, I have a life outside of this, so I'm not
Yeah.
always on it 24/7. I don't have the time to do that with like an OnlyFans or a Fansly. I just
Mhm.
don't. And
But
so
see,
like those kind of things don't work for me.
yeah, because see, to be honest with you, it's like everyone jumped on OnlyFans because it was just a social media, the popping thing. But it to me, it didn't fit everybody's way of making money because one with OnlyFans, camming, it kind of you can't. How can I put this? With StreamMate, you might can catch scragglers or people that just jump from room to room. You can't do that
Yeah,
with OnlyFans. You have to literally draw the people in for your live.
yeah,
Period. Um, Plus, on top of that, it's content based. So, and I kept saying this: not everybody made money, they millions off their content.
yeah.
Period. Especially after when they made sure that paywall was regulated. When it wasn't regulated, girls can get off because they can charge a lot. But but like I said, it's just but camming is a different beast because I mean how often do you cam? Like and what's your hours? Do you cam like maybe 2 hours a day, 8 hours a day? What?
I tend to cam. I'll cam 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. I do treat it like a Monday through Friday because then the weekends I am off on the weekends. That's family
Mm-hmm,
time. Everybody's off. Everybody's home. I do stuff with the family on the weekend, so I definitely treat it like a Monday through Friday. So Wednesdays and Fridays I'll actually cam during the day.
mm-hmm,
I cam from the hours of 1 to 4. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll cam at night after everyone's asleep. And it's just me. And sometimes the hubby will come with me then on the Tuesdays and Thursdays.
mm-hmm,
And so then those shows can be sometimes then just a straight boy girl show or a femdom show if he's feeling frisky and wants to switch.
yeah.
Um, or, like I said, I do my cuckold show, so then I'll tend to book those privates on those
Mm-hmm,
2 days. And I'll do that then in the evening from like an 11 to 1.
mm-hmm.
Hmm?
See, now what I hear is she has a schedule.
Yes.
She has a schedule. She has a schedule. You know, and that's interesting because talking to like two of the cam ladies I talked to from Romania, um, that's one thing that I noticed that one they work the studio, they work in the studio and they work it like a regular job, 8 hours a day, what have you, clock in, what have you. One runs one. But they spoke to having the schedule, and how it was beneficial. Because I see with you, because you have trained your fans. Because I tell people you have to train your fan base. People don't understand
Yeah, so I
that.
don't even need to post. Like, I can post. I sometimes will post on Twitter when I'm going live, but sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll just go. And it's because my schedule's been that consistent. Like, of course, sometimes I've taken breaks. I've had family stuff that's occurred. I've had to take, time off for a few months at a time,
Yeah.
things like that. And so when that happens, one thing that I have is I use Why Not Mail.
Mhm.
Shout out to Jay and all the Why Not team. And I actually have a mailing list, an email. And so I will send out a monthly email automatically. Like I have it set up automated. All I do is edit the content that's within the email and it goes out. And so if I do need to take a break or if something's occurring where I am going to be out for an extended period of time, I will let my fans know via that mail. And that, a lot of those fans, a lot of my older friends that are into fetish, they don't necessarily want to be on Twitter or those kind of social medias because they don't want to
Yeah.
run the risk of being caught or someone finding out that they're following a bunch of femdom like adult
Yes.
stars. So having that email set up is easier for them because then they could just check the email and delete it and go from there. So that works out for me. And that gives them then that clear expectation of, yes, I'm going to be on my regular schedule for the month. So then they know, okay, she's going to be here these days. And I have my
But that's
calendar
that
in there.
consistency, because I think I tell girls it's not what you do, it's how you do it. If you don't have to go 8 hours strong for webcam unless you choose to. If you play it right and you entertain them right and give them enough variety within that cabinet, what you're doing, you can do it 2 hours a day. But and treat it like you would just like with my podcast, like clockwork, it drops at 10 a.m. every day, whether it's the Premium Smoke Room or whether it's the regular podcast. And it's to give them that regularity that even if you forget to promote that you're going on, they know that you're going on anyway, because they'll sit there and check just because.
Yeah.
Just because. They were like, oh yeah, Tuesday she comes on at 5. Let me go check her. Or even like with Plumber Pass, it's like I know they update 3 times a week, so I just to go look, just to see who's up there. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like when you become a part. This is what people don't realize. Webcamming, podcasting allow you to be a part of somebody's routine. And when you become a part of their routine, that's when you get their money.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly correct.
Yeah, most definitely. So with that being said, I know you plan to do more boy, girl, or what have you. What's some because I'm gonna get with you on this girl. Well, actually, hold on. With the girl, it's kind of like, is it more of content or is more of fetish or is more of camming when you with the girl?
So with the girls, actually a mix. So I've cammed with other female performers. I've shot content scenes with other female performers. I actually, one of my favorite scenes with Plumper Pass, I actually had a threesome with Milan and then Brianna with Brie, Carlo. And she's like my bestie, my ride or die. I love that girl to death.
Yeah, she cool. She cool as fan. I like her. That's my homie.
And, so even though I see her all the time because she's such a good friend, just shooting that pro scene with her was like my favorite, because it was like there was real love there, because I have real love for her. Like if I always thought, I'm like, if I didn't have a hobby, I'd probably try to wife love.
Oh God.
And then, and then femdom stuff with other female performers always does well. Guys who like to be dominated by women, what's better than that? Being dominated by 2 women. But yeah, so when it comes to, I'm a lot more relaxed and open with who I'll work with, female talent wise, than male talent. You can DM me and be like, you're gorgeous, I want to shoot content, and I'll reply, okay.
Well, I mean, because like I said before, it's kind of like I tell people, how can I put this? It's the way that you set up your business.
Yeah.
And it's your brand, because it's like I tell it, females are scared to stick to their brand in a lot of cases. And because of pressure, because of what have you. And let's say, for example, like you might have a pressure for more boy girl. Speak to sticking to your brand and the importance of it, because it seems to me that your brand is camming girl with a touch of boy girl every now and then. You feel what I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Period. And you have other ways that you make money that doesn't even involve content or the camera. So speak to sticking on brand to where you don't veer for what works.
When it comes to sticking on brand, like for me, sticking on brand just makes things easier. I'm at a point in my life. I mean, I'm going to be 32 this year, which sounds, still young, but I'm at a point in my life where I don't have the time or capacity to be able to do like a full rebrand, right? Like if I wanted to completely change from the norm, I'm at risk of losing the livelihood that I've built for myself, because you never know with a rebrand. It's a risk. It could go either way. So for me, that consistency allows me to see this more as like a salary. And so I feel like being on brand and building your brand allows you to kind of build an empire enough to where you can have what people like to say is passive income, in that sense of where I can be reliant on my fans. I trust in my fans, and my fans then can be reliant on me, which then turns it into a bit more of like a partnership. I have a partnership with my fans, a relationship with my fans, in that sense of I know they have my back and they know that I'm going to give them what it is that they need, because that's just how it's been for so long. I will say the difficult time for me, or where I felt more off brand, was first coming back after having my son and coming back with my new body. There were a few fans that I did lose that liked me slimmer, more toned, and weren't a fan of the new curvy body. And I thought to myself, I could go to the gym, bust my ass for hours on end, and get myself there. But I was also a new mom, and I had to ask myself, like, okay, well, there's only so many hours in the day. So, like, where do I want to devote my time to? And I was comfortable. I felt that I still looked beautiful and that I looked good. And if I was confident in myself, then I was like, okay, let me make this new brand work.
And two, a lot of females don't realize is that the BBW game is popping.
Yes, it is.
It's popping. People don't realize that. It's just mainstream porn just don't want to recognize it.
And that irritates the living hell out of me. The fact that there are award shows that some have a BBW category, some don't, but the ones that don't, they never have any BBW nominees in there. It's just all, fit, skinny, mainstream. You may have someone who's a little thicker, but no one that's like our size. And then those award shows that do have their own category, then that's the only category that you're going to be potentially picked for. And so then all of our community then is all battling against each other for that one of those 5 spots in that category. And, we, thanks to, there is the BBW awards, but even that's not as big as, other award shows. And, right, I can also understand why, because then it's very specific to just one community. And I feel like at this day and age where we're at, the number of different body types and people that are out there, like, we have to do a better job of expanding on those categories and making our industry more inclusive to one another and different body types.
Yes, because you talking to a dude that cut his tooth and made his bread with BBW. So, but also I also got pigeonholed in a lot of ways, because sometimes when I talk to a smaller model, are you sure that you want to shoot with me? I might not be your type. I'm like, I'm talking to you, Anna.
That also happens on the flip side with male talent too, though, where they'll shoot with BBWs in the beginning of their career, and then once they get to a certain status, they no longer shoot with BBWs. Then you're like, what happened?
Like, bro, I just saw you with a big girl the other day. What are you talking about? But see, it's that. But see, that's why I tell people the industry is still conservative. They still looking at the 1980s. That's just the golden day was you can sniff cocaine and they could do whatever the hell it was a certain look that they wanted. And they still beholden to, because a lot of them motherfuckers grew up in that era, was running the business in that era, and they still run the business now.
Yeah.
So it's just that's why I said is you see more variety on. That's why they hate OnlyFans. That's why they hated the content era, the content creator era, as we want to. Yeah. So called. Because it took the attention away from them and the norms that they wanted to portray on the world. What point is been taken away? Because I'm sorry, it's because like I said with you, I was like, dang, she she don't do a lot of boy girl I see. So I was like, yeah, she must be really killing it on the cam side of things.
Yeah, but I like it that way. I like that my boy girl content is kind of like a nice little
It makes
rarity, like
special.
diamond that you can get every night, every once in a while. It's like a little treat.
Now I'm gonna ask you this: how extreme are you interested in going with the boy girl? As in, are you looking to do a gangbang in the future? One, of course, under your control. Are there any talents that you actually have been spotting and been like, I wouldn't mind working with him if he ever stepped to me? You know what I'm saying? You know, because be it that it's now special sauce, I know that you're gonna do some special shit with it when you actually do it.
Yes, so I do have plans. I do want to do at least one like boy girl threesome.
Mm.
I don't know. I've been on the fence on whether or not I wanted to do anal boy girl. I feel like that would definitely need, the only way that I would do anal would be a pro shoot and a pro shoot only. I don't see myself doing anal boy girl just for content, and it's like for trade. That's not gonna happen. It's gonna
The
have to
question is,
be.
do you do anal in your normal sex life?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
But the
okay,
only way I'm
okay.
gonna do anal on camera is gonna be if it's a professional shoot,
No, I
because
feel
the
you.
amount
You
of
think that was
prepping and
somebody?
the amount of
Yeah.
work that goes into that's gonna have to be a professional shoot. And the same thing for if I was to do a gangbang, like
Mm.
I would want that to be a professional shoot, and I would be down to do a gangbang, or what I would like to do for content wise would be an orgy though. A nice all like girls, boys, a big ass crazy
Orgies,
orgy of content. Yeah.
orgies is fun. So I'm not going to hold you up much longer, Miss Lady. So with that being said, I have to bring you back, and I always bring people back, you know, on a regular basis, what have you. Definitely want to bring you back on the premium smoke room because there's a lot that we didn't even get to talk about that I wanted to ask you. So with that being said, can I call you a smoke buddy?
Yes. I'd be more than happy to be back. You can have me back anytime.
No doubt. You heard it, people. Miss May will be back, and we'll definitely have her in the premium smoke room. So you go ahead and subscribe now. 6 premium podcasts for you to listen to, and you'll get to hear on one of them, as well as the lounge again. So with that being said, Miss Lay, tell everybody where they can spend money on you.
So you can definitely come and join me on cam. You guys all just heard my schedule. So I'll be on Streammate. You just search Lennox May. You'll find me there. Or if you want to go ahead and check out my scenes, you can go to ManyVids /Lennox May. And I also have my loyal fans /Lennox May. And then you can always find me on Twitter if you get lost at _Lennox_May.
There you go, people. So you know how we end this all day, every day, people. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience? You didn't learn anything. Smoke this over. Thank you for coming to the lounge, Mama. You have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you so much for having me. Have a wonderful day and happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
No lie, this is the best dispensary in Oakland. They have a wide range of flower and eighth starting as low as $15.
Have a Heart is the premier recreational cannabis dispensary in Oakland. They carry only the best California-produced flower, cartridges, pre-rolls, and more. If you need help ordering, their dispensary staff is extensively trained to answer any and all questions you may have and help you find the best weed products specifically for you. They have great in-store options as well as in-store pickup where you order online and skip the line. They deliver cannabis to Oakland, Emeryville, Berkeley, San Leandro, and Alameda. They're located at 709 Broadway in Oakland, 94607. Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Great shop, great selection, great price, great people, great vibe.